the fuck?
It's fed. Okay, please come.
I'm here.
You told me that you wasn't a freak, remember that? Now I don't believe you, Cause the way you got me feeling right now, every day, girl, I wanna see you,
Do you guys have a good book recommendation?
A book recommendation? Yes, absolutely. Can I, wait, oh, I have a lot. Oh my gosh, okay, is there like a genre?
Any genre.
Oh, okay, alright. Okay, you go first. It's called Eat Pretty. It's about your health, and it opened my eyes to why caffeine is bad, and certain oils are bad, and how to clean up your diet. I don't really read. I have another one, just in case. It's called The E-Myth. It's why most small businesses fail, and if you own a small business, how you should operate it, rather than just kind of doing what social media says. Oh wait, I do have one. There you go. The life.
Do you have a good book recommendation?
Me? Oh, actually, The Midnight Library.
What makes it good?
It kind of just opens your mind to other possibilities of how your life can go. It can't just go one way or another way. It can just go multiple different ways, and not to like have like a dull mindset.
Thank you.
Of course.
Nobody knows.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Me? Obsessed with you? Yes.
Yellow tape around his body, it's a fucking homicide.
You're on the phone with your girlfriend, she's upset. She's going off about something that you said, but she doesn't get your humor like I do. I'm in my room, it's a typical Tuesday night. I'm listening to the kind of music she doesn't like, and
prostu ta historia się zaczyna. Zakochany młody chłopak i piękna dziewczyna. Bajery typu spacery, wypady do kina. Wiem, że kiedyś będzie z nich bardzo fajna rodzina. Przy butelce wina siedzą we dwoje na plaży. Możesz nie kojarzyć, ale to są twoi starzy. Życie ułożone, bierze ją za żonę. Studia porobione i wybudowany domek. Wow, wow. Za moment ta rodzina, będzie jeszcze miała syna. Zaczyna się poród, elegancki tato model. Wiezie przyszłą mamę swoim drogim samochodem. Wszystko gotowe, zabierają ją na stale. Zachowują spokój, nie denerwują się wcale. Nie mieści się w pale, że się zrobi taki gnój. Bo miało być doskonale, a tu kurwa taki chuj.
Go, just start reading. It was exactly what I needed. I agree. I'm feeling curiously frisky too. Alright, yeah, no. No, come on, just keep reading, keep reading.
Just before Anne Boleyn's execution, legend has it, she handed a modest prayer book to one of her ladies. And before us today at Hever Castle is a modest prayer book. And if we look inside, we can see an inscription. Remember me when you do pray, that hope doth lead from day to day. Anne Boleyn. It feels like an instruction to remember her after her death, but that would be no simple task. Henry VIII's attempts to erase Anne from history included destroying portraits and remembrances of her. And yet, this book, bearing her name, has survived. And it survived thanks to a hidden history that we're about to uncover.
In my research with this book, I discovered 4 further inscriptions hidden inside the pages that had later been erased. I was able to use ultraviolet light and photo editing software to uncover these words behind the blur, and they led me to be able to piece together the path that this book took in the years after Anne's ownership.
And so what do we know about the people who owned this book after Anne and kept it alive?
This book was kept safe in the hands of those who valued a personal connection to Anne. They were a group of local Kentish gentry folk, predominantly women, and it was thanks to their bravery, solidarity and community that Anne's signature and her book survive today.
But this remarkable provenance trail isn't the only thing that's been uncovered in researching this book.
It's certainly not.
Your body like speaks to me.
Oh yeah.
When you turn 18, you get to choose superpowers based on points you earn based on your behavior. Most people get about 10 points. The world's mightiest heroes had around 30. You just turned 18. You have over 200 points and your government is freaking out. And how many points would Superman have had? The teacher asked, as we were filling in the points chart on the board. Well, flight is 15 points all on its own. 20 if it's fast. Then strength, which is a sliding scale. But it's safe to say that Superman's strength would be on the high end. So, 18 more? Jake sat in the front row as he explained his calculations. Gesturing excitedly, I could tell that he'd already calculated it. Aw, he's such a dork. His friend group was open to everyone. But they were pretty nerdy, so not too many people tried to join in. I hovered on the edges, nervous and shy about joining in. But I'd seen enough to know that they all probably had high point tallies. They were serious volunteers. Jake ran charity marathons, too. So, all told, Superman's abilities would cost about 50 points. There was a disappointed murmur as everyone checked their points tallies and compared it to the cost of such insane abilities. Now, remember that Superman was one of the first superheroes created. That means that people essentially threw 100 different powers at the wall to see what stuck. Expecting to afford Superman's powers would be absurd. Does anyone have a calculation for what Spider-Man's power set would be? Jake waved his hand eagerly, and the teacher shook her head at him with an exasperated smile. Someone who hasn't answered 5 questions today. A girl in the back, as shy as me, held up a hand. Strength and agility, maybe. 5 points? Web, another 5? Wall climbing should be another 4 or so. But spider sense is a sense. Intelligence modifier, so that's expensive. Maybe 10 for that. So 24 total? Another murmur spread through the classroom and I smiled approvingly at the girl in the back. She flushed and stared at her hands. Nice work, Sandy. The teacher wrote 24 on the board. Now, how many of you think that's more doable? A few looked uncomfortable, but some people had wide grins on their faces, and a number of hands were in the air. Now, we're going to deal with dangerous power combinations. Many of you are going to turn 18 this year, so we want to be sure you're ready for it and you don't choose anything that's going to get you or others killed. Jake's hand was already in the air. The teacher sighed. Yes, Jake? Super speed without the reflexes to match. Absolutely, you'd be the equivalent of a speeding train, with no way to dodge people, cars, or buildings. You'd die in minutes, and kill a lot of people doing so. Now, if you'll turn to page 18 of your book, there's a chart of incompatible powers, and pages 19 to 20 are powers that need another power to work. The next month will be spent going over these in detail and explaining what can go wrong. Tests 2 and 3 will contain this material, so be sure to pay close attention. The bell rang, and I found myself slipping into the back of Jake's group as usual, listening to their chatter. Hey Clark, you've got 50 points all saved up, right? They laughed and Clark shook his head in embarrassment. Nah, I've got like 20. Hey, that's not bad. You could be Spider-Man with that. Yeah, what have you got, Jake? Jake's grin spread. 34. There was a dazed silence. Broken by Clark. Whoa. Hey Jake, remember that we were buddies when you start working. That's some money. I tagged along with Jake as I kept my head down. No one could see another person's numbers. But I still lived dreading the day someone would ask. My numbers had to be low. But I'd been embarrassed to check. Sure, I hadn't bullied anyone. But I'd spent most of my life doing nothing big of note. I sure hadn't run marathons with Jake. Finally, my 18th birthday rolled around and I was excused from school. The cake and the presents. Everything was ready. Waiting for the moment when my points became, for a brief moment, visible to outside eyes. When they saw why and how I'd gotten my score.
Oh, so you're the sound that every Sarah J. Maas character makes. No! That's growling! I just wanna fuck the darkling!